Test. Okay, so something I've noticed about the notes that you're writing down as well is it's very like you see it happened, and then there's your analysis. Does that make sense? Now, what I think is missing is your preemptive analysis. So here, for example, it's like should not flash here, and I haven't seen the VOD, by the way. I haven't looked, so I don't have the context. But should not flash here, always die of inferior, better to die faster and get on map. Now, what you write here, I'm sure is probably correct. But the point is, how are you in a position where you're even going to die in a Fury? Like, it's not mentioned at all, you know? I just thought that was interesting. And so we'll check out the game now.
We'll check, yeah. Because I can agree with your point, but it doesn't work for that specific one.
Yeah, of course, sure.
But I get what you're saying, and it's something that I don't think I was that mindful of, you know?
Yeah, it's a curiosity, if anything. Okay, fine. Alright, let's have a look.
Let's see.
You can see my screen, right? All fine.
Yes. I can.
Okay. Do you think it's actually? Let's start with comps. I just want to hear your like plan going into the game.
Yeah, maybe look to, if you guys are stronger to get it, and then Vizzpers for grabs as well.
Let's see the conditions if you can get priors for it.
We talked about this,
We should
but
be
it's
able
just
to then.
Yeah.
what we're saying right here is just we're even conditions with Drake.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to.
We call if we're contesting Drake or not just before, because in our mind this is playable. So it's kind of conditions based on who's winning lane or whatever.
No, of course. I think it's not that preset this game about who gets which objective. Like enemy team probably gets grubs if they want them, but maybe you guys can have a better support move.
Also, my mic is always low in my recordings. I don't know.
Maybe not actually. Yeah, it depends. Depends on the lane conditions. I think it's playable. I actually I think both drafts are good. Okay, so the first three waves, how do you see them playing out? Who has push?
I think we should have it. MF pushes slightly faster than me, and kind of just wins in isolation because I'm useless level 1. Or kind of, but she's just considerably stronger level 1, but Leona is just stronger than Alistar, so I would just play through middle bush.
Okay.
Play through bush control.
So I want you to be more specific. So what you're saying generalized is reasonable, but I want you to be more specific. When are you stronger than MF as Varus?
Level 2, I'm probably even
let's say
all
let's say level 1.
Level 1, I am slightly losing in auto trades if I can Q and she can Q. But I am stronger in all-ins.
Right. And so anything past 3 to 4, right? Autos.
Yes.
Because obviously she gets a PTA, she gets value off the passive, but then once you start stacking this up, you're going to be stronger than her. Now something else you didn't mention is the sums advantage.
Yeah.
They have cleanse exhaust, you have barrier ignite, much better for combat, no?
Yes.
So what you're saying is true that I can probably get pushed, but MF's kind of stronger than me in the early like chip trade. So either you need to auto E for her auto Q, don't give her the PTA, or you need to extend past 4 autos. Do you see how my logic is playing out here?
I see the logic, yeah.
Okay, so that's how you should be thinking about it. Now, which wave should we crash this game?
Assuming we get control level 1, because I think it's still a bit up in the air.
I don't think it's up in the air, but
you think it's? I mean, I didn't know what your take on it was.
I think you guys should have priority. Yes, maybe you can lose some HP and condition, but I think it's possible for you guys to crash.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm not really sure. I'd like to by default now after 15 changes, I feel like you almost always crash second. It's very hard not to if they give control the second you actually get it. I feel like.
Right.
Or you crash. So in my mind, I'm probably just gonna crash second and then just get the bounce third and crash fourth again. As usually
I think that's reasonable. Yeah. I mean, the time is in which you want to try crash 3 or like shove 2 into burn the third is usually when you want to buy Cull, right? But in a lane like this, it's like Cull's never like awful, but there's probably gonna be a lot of trading. So in my head,
I really dislike cheater recalls after wave changes.
Yep.
Like if it's this fourth wave crash, or I mean before it used to be third, right, where you can still get Cull, but which you can do now. But then when you come back, you lose guaranteed 3 melees, and if you're unlucky, you also lose the cannon, and it's just never. I hate it. Unless your condition's also bad and you need it for HP and mana, sure.
I mean, it just depends if you can hold the wave after, right? Like, if you then have item advantage and full condition and the wave is here, you should be able to fight. And if both junglers come bot, maybe your item difference, you know, it makes a difference. Maybe it doesn't. Whether you like cheater or not, you have options, okay? And you can choose. I'm not going to tell you what's best or worst.
Yeah. When I play through middle bush here with Leona. My man, I think she should have sweeper and sit in middle bush forever. I mean, that's the only way I think we do that. I think we never lose level 1.
Okay. So far, I like this. It's good. Use the bush to cancel. Maybe you could have ordered MF instead of Alistar. Now, what's the plan here? I'm not listening to the voice comms, but what do you have in mind?
Honestly, I just play it out in my mind. I'm just trying to defend wave because we have level 2 pro, so just keep it like this. Try to hit them when they... I mean, it's kind of just that, to be honest. We'll not really get an advantage when we get closer to level 2. When the second wave settles, I'll progress. Right now, the next 20 seconds is very iffy because this range minion is in my bush. Usually, I would go to third bush here and try to do exactly what I did before.
Sure. So what I'm looking for again is details. Like you want to try to keep your lethal tempo stacked.
I don't think I can ever do that if they're good though.
Maybe not, right? But
the
timing on this running out and this minion dying is going to be close. So then you're forcing them into a decision tree of, do I walk up for the EXP or do I walk back to drop his lethal tempo? Do you see how it's a guaranteed win?
Yes. Yeah. I just step up here regardless of the minion. Like
yeah, of course. Now, maybe MF auto Qs you, maybe you have to use your barrier, whatever, but I hate this Q. Can you tell me why this Q is bad?
To be honest, not sure. Outside of the fact that I miss it. And
so
then,
run this. Okay, so if you hit this Q, would it be a good Q?
I think it would be, yeah, because
I disagree.
On almost 100 mana.
Disagree completely. Why do you think that is?
I mean, in my mind, I'm just getting trip damage on her, and I am sitting on almost 100% mana.
Okay, but so the logical trap with what you're saying is that because the outcome is a certain way, it means that the process is good. Right? Do you see how this could be problematic?
Kind of,
so
but I feel like this
the
is
same thing that I'm...
And unless, of course, you're considering chip damage on wave.
No, all I'm thinking about here is that MF has no job. MF has no decision. There's no reason for her to walk up. There's no reason she can't dodge this Q. If you time this Q full charge as to when this creep is dying, again, you're forcing her between decisions. If you throw it raw like this, I don't see the point to it. Because I think it's too easy if these guys are good players to dodge it. Do you get my point?
I do get your point.
If her attention is split between two things, it becomes infinitely harder to dodge this Q.
Yeah, I get your point. If I had stayed in fog and channeled all the way in fog, started in fog and thrown it from there,
still bad.
I think it was a bad Q.
Yeah.
Still bad.
She has way too much time to react. You're then making the assumption that when the Q starts flying from here, that a pro player can't move on a horizontal axis from this with no other job. I think it's relying on them being bad, okay? But let's keep watching. Okay. Just a mistake on the positioning. It's fine. Happens. Okay, so you make a decision here, and I'm curious about your mindset. So a minion's gonna die, and you choose, instead of going for this minion, that you want to attack their condition. So tell me how the future is gonna play out, the next 2 waves.
Probably we're gonna crash third, or try to crash recrash fourth. To be honest, I don't know.
And then look for a ward, right?
I mean,
okay,
yeah.
so my point is, you need intention. If you're gonna drop this minion to trade here, I need intention in the future. For example, we crash the next incoming wave and we can dive them bot because we know that the jungle path is mismatched. That's some sort of information that you could play off, right? But right now I see you making the lane more volatile than it should be, losing some CS. If you get this minion and then you trade like this, I don't care. Blow your barrier, trade aggressively, you do your thing, you know? But the fact that you drop a minion for it feels like you have a plan in the future. Like you want to dive them, or you know what I mean? You're trying to make a statement about how hard you're stomping them bot. Do you get my point?
I get your point. It's not actually hitting it.
Yeah.
Doing it without any thought process behind it.
Yes, exactly.
You would
Again,
like for me to
I just
make
want
this
better. I just
decision-
want better planning. If you want to play this super aggressive style, pop your barrier to trade, I'm fine. I'm really fine with it. But I need intention behind it.
Intentional, not just going through the motions.
Yeah.
Okay. Feels
Okay,
for me
so-
like this kind of like I get what you're saying, but I have a really hard time planning this lane. Because in my mind I am not really now looking for any recalls. Like I feel like it's just if I have good mana, if I have good HP, and
Yeah, but so-
and I have more chip damage than them, I would just stay in lane forever.
You
know,
don't
if I'm
need
getting
you don't need to
contest.
plan all of this. I'm not saying that you need to know from the game beginning that these are the decisions you're gonna make. Like for me, when you choose to take a trade instead of killing a minion, like you're already thinking about it. You already have a plan. Do you know what I mean? You see a reason to trade with this guy instead of farm, when the automatic assumption, usually as an ADC, is to hit the minions, no?
Yeah.
So instead of taking the easy approach, you're going for the harder approach. Does that make sense? But then you say that you're not like consciously aware, like you think it's hard to make these decisions, but you're going against the classical flow of just farming, you know?
But
So
in my
so
mind,
I think the
this is-
processes are happening for you. Is my counter argument.
But I think this is my just my default approach. Is if I can get like more than just an auto off on Alistar, I would probably take that over a minion. Even though I'm aware it's a melee minion in this case, not just a range one. Which I think, by the way, if I'm thinking about this, is probably wrong because I can still Q him and auto the melee. So it is just a melee for.
Well, like there are cases where what you're saying is correct. There are cases where it's better to trade than go for the CS. But that's why I ask you about the future intent. It's like, so what's going to happen in the next two waves? And my point is, it's not that easy to push them out of lane. Do you know what I mean?
You're saying
If you're playing like
yeah.
Draven Kalista, I think I'd be a lot more inclined to drop some CS to make sure the condition is winning. But it's like, yeah, I don't really see the dive happening. That's my only point.
You think we can never really force them to take a bad recall or to dive them?
Maybe you can, but this you're never gonna know it off this one minion. Does that make sense? Like off the trade that you got by dropping the minion, are they now diveable? No. In 4 more trades after that, if they make mistakes, can we force them to take a bad recall? Maybe yes, but that doesn't mean that this CS had anything to do with it, or it was one part of a continuous chain. You know? Does that make sense? Am I making sense?
I mean, it would work towards that, though. No, like
But that's providing that the future events also coexist with this first one. So
Yeah, and I
okay, he
don't know
takes
the matchup
bad
well
trade
enough.
1. Yeah, but if you don't know the matchup well enough, then why are we opting into aggression over farming?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. So okay, you're saying that if I had a pretty good grasp on the lane and I was pretty sure that at some point I would be able to either 1, make them have really bad conditions for a Drake fight that I know is going to happen before we reset, 2, force them off to just take a bad recall because otherwise we're threatening a dive, or 3, dive, then you really like this. But if I am just unsure of what to do, you would rather just take plus 21 gold over a
course.
trade that you don't know if will ever happen again.
Of course.
Okay, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I don't agree with your counter argument that in the future, if they make more mistakes, they'll get pushed out of lane, and therefore, once again, this process of you trading here instead of taking the minion is good. Just because the outcome is a certain way doesn't mean the process is good. You need to get really, really stuck in on that.
Yeah.
Because
I
it's a
understand,
trap
yeah.
in your logic right now.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay, same thing. It's like fine, you know? It's fine. But again, like I would prefer that your Q is up for when he's forced again. Once again, when he's last hitting.
If you want me to overthrow this Q, then okay, fine. But then just maximize your odds because I know they'll be hitting melees in a bit. Or
Yeah. I mean, again, like it's
there.
this one's not the biggest issue because like you get a max range charge before anything happens, and you probably need to go drop a ward, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a small thing. And then, so I have a question, right? with this much prior, where should he ward?
I mean, clearly I'm thinking try. My thought process hasn't changed since then. In my mind, I'm just thinking try because Banana Bush is already warded.
So
I don't remember the
do you have
jungler,
time
but
to ward Gromp?
Oh, that never entered my thought process at all.
So imagine you ward Gromp and the enemy jungler shows there on their second path.
But by the time that my ward is expired, is it not?
Sure, but maybe he doesn't show here, you can push next and you can reward. My only point is, this ward makes you safe, because you have a ward here, right?
Yeah.
This ward gives this guy info, this guy info, this guy info.
I feel like let me just preface this by saying I never really thought about this. I think I'm never finding timers toward Gromp.
Yeah, that's fine.
This timer is really, really, really bad, no? Or
Tell me.
Not really bad, but it's just useless because he's already taken Gromp. We know it's 4-minute timer. We know he started top side.
Sure.
His first Gromp is already gone. He'll never show, and the Gromp is not gonna be up before the ward expires.
Sure.
So I feel like this ward will never do anything.
Okay, so what if he takes this path and goes for a lane gank?
But then again, what would the timer be? Because I feel like he's for sure. I mean, I think by the way, my ward right now is bad. Like 355, most likely he's never gonna ward again. Especially like he's just gonna reset, right?
Okay, so I agree. Maybe your ward's not most efficient, but you have 2 trinkets up, and you have full vision here. Just drop one. It's fine.
Yeah.
So I agree with what you're saying. With like, let's say you have one ward and then you ward somewhere that's a little inefficient, and maybe you get he flashes over the wall or he kills you, right? Then I agree with your analysis. You have 2 wards. Just drop one. It's fine.
I would drop it then. I would probably just drop it and try. I mean, okay. I think that I should always consider the Gromp, but I think in this game,
Sure.
because of the timer, I
Sure.
think I would never do it.
I'm very happy with that. You do what you want with the information. Point is, you can get a lot more value from the ward if somehow you can spot the enemy jungler. This is for all your teammates too.
Yeah,
And
I think
and you're not gonna lose anything, like anything at all, except like maybe 1 or 2 seconds worth of pressuring, maybe 3 seconds of pressuring. But
Yeah, I
again,
think if he
once
was
again,
passing top-
we traded as heavily as we humanly could. They even took a bad trade level 1, and they're immovable.
Yeah. I think if he was passing top, I would do it.
Sure.
I think as you say,
Okay, our jungler's top side right now, and enemy team level 3. It's actually not too bad for them, right? Alrighty. We are in on the weak side.
yeah. And you'll hear my comms as well. I'm just saying I don't want to make the volatile. And I am fully aware of. Actually, watching back now, I thought the jungler did top to bot. Was I wrong for this? Very clearly, I think he just did bot to top, actually. I mean, I don't remember the game, but I think we saw a Talia ward on Raptors very early on. And when I reviewed it, no, he has red buff. Okay, he did bot to top. Okay, my bad. Well, then I was just slightly confused earlier. Then I think, going back at it, I think I should for sure have warded the Gromp. I think the timer was perfect for it. I think the Tribush ward is also fine then. But if I think I can get that Gromp ward, then it's nice.
I mean, you have time. That's my point.
Yeah.
You don't have perfect information on what the path is. Just ward it. You have 2 up. This is game losing, so I don't know what mind control deal they're under to combo in here, but this is bronze. Okay, now you're cooked. Your jungler's very upset at you guys. That's fine, happens. We get dragon off this, so push. Okay. What can we do with this wave? Can we read their tempo better somehow? Okay, so check.
Plays too fast.
Nice. Who? By the way, enemy team is which AD? What's his name?
13.
13.
It's,
I don't know. I don't know.
ADC.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised that he opens mid. No, I'm surprised that he opens mid here.
Is he open mid?
Yeah. He shows here in a second.
Did he open straight mid or did he open through jungle?
Yeah.
Oh, he opened.
Because of this. This is actually intelligent.
You're doing it because of the bounce spot, and you think he'll just never have anything?
Yeah.
Just leave
So
it
during
wrong.
this time, like if you slow push right, he'll attack this area, so then he can not get punished on the slow push. Also, if a fight breaks out here and he's around, then you might even get cooked on your slow push that you can't crash.
What was your first point? I got the second. The first was trying to make sure there's river control for them. So
He can bring his sorry it's two things. He flips the bounce, one from him not getting attacked, as in like he can get dove on this way from mid jungle. And the second thing is, if he brings his mid jungle down successfully, he can even attack you. So it's like similar of stealing a jungle camp, right? Like when the jungler steals a camp, they get +1, but the enemy jungler gets -1. So like the delta is actually 2. Make sense?
Yeah,
That's all. Similar concept, right? On the bounce, he can get attacked or he can attack you, and the difference is huge. It's not like neutralizing it necessarily. Does that make sense? So I think it's good. You push, get the dragon. This is all fine. Enemy jungler will have slight tempo now, so let's see. Swap for the grubbies. I like. Okay, let's watch this out. Okay, so there's a few things that go through my mind when I watch this. The first one is paying attention to your EXP bar, and the second thing is your spell usage. So here, and I'll explain to you what I think you're thinking. Okay, I think you're like, hey, I want to try get level 6 before we fight, but actually you don't need 6 to completely cook this guy. Am I right or wrong?
I don't remember my usage. And looking at it now, I have no
if you're
clue
not
if it
thinking
was-
about EXP, this is awful.
Yeah, to be honest, you'll see me in a bit be very aware of the exact minion I get level 6 on, and I'm calling it in comms.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
this E, I don't think was behind that.
I agree,
I think
because
this
you can
E
never
was
get it.
CS.
Yeah.
I think this E was just CS thing.
Because what I want you to think about, okay, so see how this plays out, right? Imagine, so you applied another W stack to Alistar. You get one more auto off plus E. This guy's completely cooked. This objective's ours.
Yeah. Or I start the trade with E and
No. I think why you did this is really good, because Alistar is incentivized to use his E. So while he's doing this, right? 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1.
And now he would go back.
He's cooked because he's against the wall.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So
What do
if
you
he's
call
in
this?
this open space, yeah, maybe it's better to use E, so then you can maybe hit your Q, right? But right now he's locked in this zone of dodging. It's very, very hard for him to dodge this. Because he has no W, right? Like if he has W, maybe he can go to a minion or something, but yeah, I think Q is better here. I think what you did is good, just would be nice to have your E up here. That's all.
And the E is because you're anticipating he would trade? Or like,
Yeah, well,
or
you're
you just like the
blocking
mana
you're
usage?
blocking his option. Like you get a lot. You have no lethal on this Alistar if you use your E on the wave.
But so okay, wait. Go back to the frame on IE.
Yeah.
Just again, the reason I'm talking is just trying to fully understand everything you're saying.
Yeah, of
right?
course, of course.
This E, the frame I throw the E. You're
Yes.
anticipating that he would step up and look for a trade.
No. Okay, so this is not the logic. The point is, can you take this minion without using spells?
Not if I open myself off to WQ from Alistar. I don't think.
Right.
Not
So
even.
if the owner positions here and you're positioning here, can you take the minions?
Depends again on Alistar.
So if
I
you
mean,
get
I would-
comboed by Alistar, MF's gonna ult you and you're gonna die, right?
Yes, because there's no fear behind as well.
So
Yeah.
are these minions more valuable right now than this wave and this control and this objective? If you use spells on this wave, right? Enemy team can push this out and then they can go here and the fight will play out here.
So what you want to do right now is kind of just hold spells, and then it's kind of just a stare down. Or
My
try to
point
find
is,
spells for
you're
damage.
waiting for this guy. Once Wukong's in range, you can try to bait a fight maybe. But if you use your E here, you lost half your damage, you know, from your W.
Yeah, yeah.
And okay, maybe you got 1 minion, maybe you wanted to get 2, maybe in the best case you get all 3. But then you have to use your Q to farm the cannon probably. Do you see my point? I'm not even
Yeah.
thinking about this fight breaking out. I'm not thinking about it. And obviously your support is, so, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, again, I don't want to confuse the logic with this is the process, this is the outcome, and then therefore the process is either good or bad, right? Because it's quite similar in the sense that because a fight is here and you don't have your E, it's a problem. But actually, it's like the EV or like the value on using your E here is just really low.
Yeah, I understand, Evie.
Yeah.
Just if you're
That's all.
sure, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
I
your
think
questions
I
are completely valid.
Okay. Alright, let me just go back to the frame. Sorry, I don't have questions. I just want to see it and think about what you said. Okay. So we'll need to inevitably step up. Kind of, we have to.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you want me to be really critical as well, you can look at your inputs, you know?
Yeah, wait a bit. I'm still going back to the other thing. So in your mind, we'll need to step up to this wave at some point, no matter what. When we step up, most likely they will go on us. Or then, I mean, let's assume they're not NPCs and they will just go at us. And then a fight will most likely break out. And having
mean,
E for that.
You need this guy around, okay? You cannot do anything until this guy's here. Now, if you use your spells on the wave before he comes, now when he's here, you can no longer fight. Make sense?
Yeah.
The upside of using your E on the wave is what? You get +2. It's not worth it.
Yeah, I agree.
Does that it's really as simple as that. The fight occurs when this guy is around. When this guy arrives, you need to be ready to fight. That's it.
So you would only E with the deliberate intent to either bait or thinking that we win anyways.
I just wouldn't use it, you know? I really wouldn't use it here.
Okay.
And like, okay, let's say there's a case where it's like, okay, they have inside track from mid or
we have what they have.
They have. Like, we cannot contest this. Then I would play to maximize resource, recall, and swap back. But I think you guys are in a position where this is kind of yours. Make sense?
Yes.
So for me, like 2 minions in the grand scheme of things right now, like the future is going to be a fight, probably. And the fight's probably going to play out around here, if both teams play good. Or the enemy team goes around here and you guys engage like on this area, you know?
Yeah.
So I can visualize the future where a fight occurs, and now I'm start thinking about dropping some CS to make sure that we have an optimal condition to fight. But in the bot lane scenario during the laning phase, I can't envision a future where they're going to get dove or get punished for your like sacrifice of the minion for condition. Make sense?
I fully get it. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
that's where I see the difference.
Nice.
Okay, so I mean, and again, this is still ends up being like kind of okay, you know?
Yeah, but I get it still, right? Can never.
Wow, this is absolutely insane. That was the flash combos, yo. So boosted. Nice.
In Jave, I think he's called.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if it's his fault, you know, like maybe his teammates are like screaming at him to go, but this is awful.
Looks funny.
Yeah, I think it's valid what your Wukong does as well, but he probably didn't have to. It's fine.
You're thinking about just kill Alistar, save ult.
Just hold the ult, yeah, just hold the ult. But it's fine, I think. Well, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
What you're saying. Especially if you think this is losing.
I mean, he should know, based on this scenario here, he should know that you're fine. Like, I know you're fine, you know? I mean, I have God vision, you know what I mean? He's thinking I need to cancel MF4, but you don't, you know? He doesn't. That's fine. Happens. It's it's an efficiency thing. It's fine. Okay, so we get pushed off the grubbies. What the fuck? Where's my Scion? He got cancelled or what? He's basing now, no? Yeah?
I guess you just got cancelled.
Well, that's disgusting, isn't it? Now we end up using our TP to fix our lane assignment, okay. Not the worst, I guess. Not the worst, I guess. Would be nice if my son had TP for this upcoming dragon. Maybe he can push an ult. Oh, it's fine, Rumble uses his TP top. Okay, all good. Okay, okay, so
I
when
think if I don't understand the game as good as you, what just occurred to me was not, what occurred to me is not really like illegal. Like it's bad when you explain it like this, but in my mind I'm not really thinking about how illegal it is, you know?
Yeah, well,
not visualizing the full 5 pieces. Not enough to laugh, at least from the TP usage from Rome.
no, I'm not laughing in the sense. I mean, I'm laughing in the sense that it's bad, but we had some issues with our TP usage this bit, and it was very funny. So yeah, wow, nice movement by MF. Well played.
This was one of my notes.
He has cleanse, no?
Yes.
You should burn it.
Yeah, my note, and then I guess my question now that you're actually here, is if I think we're fighting this 4v4, or if I think we're fighting this Drake, do I still try to burn cleanse here? Because I think
that's a very valid point. So it kind of depends. It's like...
Because that is my thought process here. Very, very explicitly, I'm saying it to my support as well. I will not ult even if I get in range. Like,
okay.
I'm thinking that like I'm 10 times the champ with ult.
Okay. This is not that easy because you don't actually have info. Okay, here. I can see a world where on this frame you start clicking aggressively. So basically what you can do is you can say to MF, hey, my support's around, I have good vision here, and if you want these minions, you're gonna have to fight me for it. Okay. Now, if Alistair flashes you on the hex flashes on you from this bush, because we know he's this flash top, you can flash the combo all in MF, and I think you guys win. Okay. Now, this is me being like pretty specific on the visualization of how the fight's gonna play out. But what I don't like is how much space you give this guy when you're the one with vision in river. Now, the reason why I was kind of umming and ahhing before is because you don't actually see Alistair right now. But now that I think about it, Ali has no flash. You completely mog this guy. Make sense? The chance of Ali being in here is low, but he could be. And if he isn't here, and he hex flashes, and you flash the combo, MF is cooked. And then the dragon is yours. So, the review on the process of like, okay, if I ult here, we're going to lose the dragon. In theory, what you're saying makes a lot of sense. But again, this is the problem.
Okay, let's go. I want to go through both of the points though.
Yep.
Let's just start with the Drake thing because I think that's easier to go on than this. But this is more interesting. Let's go the ult thing first for Drake.
Sure.
What's your take on it? Do you think I'm wrong for not ulting here? I think this is kind of exactly what we were talking about earlier, where it's like, I'm taking CS, which is more long term, but then I'm sacking my short term.
The thing is, your support's kind of committed, you know? So in my head, it's like, your support uses flash. It's hard to say, you know? It's really hard to say. I think there's a world where you burn this guy's cleanse, you push out bot, you give them the dragon, you recall, you go into 1-3-1, MF has no cleanse, you R-flash her on a mid-wave, and you get access to breaking a turret somewhere, or you get some jungle camps or something, you know what I mean?
Would you take, because we are in comms right now, we're very explicitly saying that we want to contest and fight this 4v4 Drake. Which I mean, by the way,
so,
that might just be wrong. But
no, like it's fine, but things can change, you know? Like, if we're playing for dragon, then maybe this is not the best thing to be doing ever, but the reason why you know how you say that these are two separate points? I don't actually believe that they are. So, conceptually, your argument here of, hey, should I use my ult or not? It's fine. And I'm going to be honest with you, I actually don't think it matters that much. Like, if you ult here, because you get locked into one. If you ult right now, dragon it's gone. Dragon's gone. We're not fighting dragon anymore. And maybe it's fine. Maybe in the next 3-4 minutes, you can do something about him having no cleanse. Yeah, we have Zone ult, we have Varus ult. Sure, could be good. Maybe we don't punish him in the next 4 minutes, and then maybe it's not worth it. You know what I mean? But that's just the reality of the situation. If we blow his cleanse, we have options later. If we use ult now, chances are dragon's gone. Do we have optimal enough vision set up that we can fight the dragon? Like, it's fine. Both teams have decent vision. They probably have vision of your ramp and here because Ali opened mid. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, my thought process right now is very much we are getting this Drake if I'm not ulting.
Yeah, I don't think it's that black and white. I don't think it's
I
that
mean,
black and white.
you cut to a frame, and like in 5 seconds, you see my Wukong no ult, and then what I hear in my ear is we're not playing Drake, and I'm like, oh shit, I should have ulted. You know, but looking at the frame before I hear that info and get the info, I was very unsure, because I'm still unsure, you know. I get what you're saying, but I wanna. Okay, so the points I can actually get away from this, because what you're saying is there are different options, and you don't know which is actually 100% the best.
No,
Because
just
it's hard
my
to judge.
point is just adapt. Make a decision and adapt, and then we can start reviewing which one's a better decision.
Okay, so you would, but the only reason you're ever considering that it might be fine to ult, because this thought process I haven't even had either. Like, I'm only thinking I'm not gonna ult because of Drake, but I can add on top, I can consider ulting, because she would be mega vulnerable on mid waves because of my ult. And
Yeah,
your
I mean,
ult.
of
Really
course.
hard
It's
time
just,
to play.
but the thing you say that you're not thinking about it, but you're thinking about it. It's just not conscious. Like, you understand that trade-off completely. Okay, he has no cleanse. What does it mean? We have Leonor, we have Varus. Like, you're a pro player. You understand this. Like, don't Sometimes in our conversation so far, I feel like you're telling me, this is out of my depth right now, or I'm not thinking about it, or maybe it's too complex. Like, it's not. It's fine. You just need to bring it to the forefront of your concentration. That's all.
I mean, I'm not thinking about the mid wave part.
Well,
Never-
like,
never
where are
watched
you
ever
going?
think
Where
about-
are you going next? You know, like, if you drop
I
the
mean,
dragon
that-
and it's gonna be 10, 11 minutes, like, you're probably gonna go mid. You
No,
could
I
say
mean,
bot
I
one
get
more
that.
turn.
I get that now. Right now, I fully understand. The second you told me about her being vulnerable into me and Leona on mid waves, I totally understand, and I got everything.
Perfect.
But thinking about it in game, because this is not too far away from how I would probably play this game exactly the same way tomorrow. You know, I'm not a different person since last time I played. When I played and I thought about this ult, I never thought about her being vulnerable on mid waves.
Yeah.
It didn't enter my thought process. You know, I was.
I'm
only
glad.
thinking about-
I'm glad you have like some learnings. You know, like, I think it's a good thing, and it's fine to not have all the answers once, right? Like, it's fine to, in a way, be bad. It's not fine in a way to stay bad. Does that make sense? And I'm not saying that you're bad. I'm just saying the concept.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you would.
Because this guy's dead, right? Like, if this hits, he's dead. He's contesting the wrong wave. My point is here that your positioning is too pussy. Because Alistair has no flash. You knew he used flash here. This is one of the punishes.
I think I'm doing it to bait.
No, I think you aren't. I think you don't understand. Because here's the thing, right? So, okay, you tell me that you're playing for Dragon, but now you're telling me you're playing to bait MF. So which one is it?
In my mind,
You
those
can't
two
change.
controls-
You can't change your logic whenever it suits you. Right now, if you're playing to kill MF and bait him, then let's do that, and let's just commit our ult, and let's take his flash, his cleanse, and then let's go to 1-3-1. But right now, Ali could be here, or Ali could be here. Those are your three options. Ali has no flash. You have flash. Visualize it
Really
out.
not see him, by the way. I feel
No.
like I'm playing it on.
No,
on
I went back.
Okay.
But but anyway, like, if you wanted to take a small win instead of playing to kill him, if you want this MF to lose something, just step up, make her lose these 4 creeps, keep both of your ults and your flashes, then fight Dragon. That's a guaranteed 120 gold. And if she decides to step up for it, she will die. Make sense?
Yeah, but in my mind, at least here when I'm playing, those two options can coexist. Me baiting and me still playing Drake.
Okay, but then
In my
don't
mind,
tell me
it's
here
here.
that I was very clear about it, that we're fighting this dragon, and do you know what I mean? Just be more flowing, be adaptable, it's fine. But my point is here, way too far back. Now, okay, so your logic, I understand you completely, that you're saying, hey, if I click back here, then MF will feel like she can tether closer to me, and maybe I'll bait her, okay? If this guy's bad, he will get baited by this. If this guy's a good player, he will not. Because he should know, if my support is here, I'm unsafe. If my support is here, I'm unsafe. Make sense or no?
I understand. Yeah.
And the thing that's huge in this scenario is Ali, no flash.
How much room for error do you want me to include in my decisions?
0.
I am
In the review,
No,
0.
Yeah, no, but for enemy, like if I'm in this.
Well, the thing is, so like, that's a super reasonable question. Now, in my head, there is like 0 downside to bluffing him off this wave. Okay, if they want to fight you, you win 2v2, and you have full information right now. And also, enemy rumble TP top. Because you know what I was gonna say about this dragon? When you're sound TP top, if Rumble holds his TP, and you guys talk about fighting this, you're cooked. Absolutely cooked. Rumble TP sounds like, it's fine, guys, I'm gonna get a plate or two, you know? And the game's completely open.
Yeah.
You get my point? So here, like, yeah, you can make the argument that, hey, like, you know, this guy's not the best player either, or, you know, he's not fucking Gumayusi, and maybe he won't respect. Maybe. But you could get a free, guaranteed 120 gold minus, like for him. Free 120 gold lead, maybe even a bit more, just by bluffing him off this wave. And if they fight you, you win. So you get even more, right? Alternatively, you try to bluff him into dying, but he gets this minion, makes a movie on us, and then now somehow we don't want to use our ult, which is reasonable based on your logic. But this guy got the gold, got Leona's flash, and got out while we're controlling mid. You know, that sucks.
You're saying just take the guaranteed win?
If you want to be a good pro player, forcing guaranteed wins, in my opinion, is the best way to do it. Same thing in lane. Don't use your Varus Q when he doesn't have a job. Right? When he needs the last hit, throw your Q. Chances of it hitting is just higher. You know? Do you play, have you ever played poker?
I understand.
Do you know the term effective value?
No, I only understand EV.
EV. That's it, EV.
I thought that was estimated value. I mean, just
expected, estimated value, same thing.
Yeah, okay, no, then I understand, yes.
Point. So, a lot of the time, you're making low EV decisions. For example, using your E on the top wave, now trying to bluff this guy out. Do you see what I mean?
Yes, but I think, yeah, I'm going for like the... Not that I'm disagreeing, but I think I'm always kind of going for the best result in my mind. Like
you're going for the highest EV. You're going for the highest EV with the highest volatility.
Yeah.
But like this top scenario where you use your E is just trash. Like I'm not including that in this. Like, using E there is just disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in this case, you're going for the highest EV, but the chances of this guy dying is, you know, he could die or maybe not. You get what I mean by volatility, right?
I get it. Yeah, I'm dropping guaranteed 120 gold for
a chance of 300, but actually it's not 300 because if he dies, he gets all three of those minions, which makes it a difference of what, like 160, 170. Of course, then he's off map, etc. You know, you get my point?
I get your point.
Yeah, that's all. And then you also like need to factor in that maybe you'll get the dragon because you both have ults and blah blah blah, whatever. You get my point?
Yeah.
But I like your thought process, okay? Like I like that you have thoughts behind why you're doing things. If we make slight corrections as to why we make certain thoughts and we play a less volatile higher, like we can go slightly lower on EV and slightly lower on volatility. And I think it'll be a better outcome for you. You don't need to make the perfect play. It doesn't need to be perfect.
Am I misunderstanding EV? EV is the term when you're already tied into the volatility. Like EV is when you consider the volatility, then there's an estimated value. No?
Correct.
Or I mean, but that's assuming there are robots. That's why EV is hard to apply to League, because in poker there is a very clear percentage EV no matter what.
No, but it's the same thing. You can yeah, but it's the same thing in poker. People can bluff. People can make decisions that are not game theory optimal, of course.
But I get what you.
Of course. I think you do as well. But yeah, I guess the biggest point in League is, especially when you're playing in the academy system, like your teammates are gonna make mistakes, you're gonna make mistakes. It's about adapting, okay? If we play to burn this guy's cleanse, what can we do with it? If this guy has no flash, what can we do with it? You know what I mean? How does it change the way I can position? When is it? Visualize how the fights play out. Can I just flash the combo and all in them? Should I go top lane right now? Did Rumble not teleport? Okay, guys, we can't fight the dragon. Rumble's gonna TP and kill us all. You know?
Yeah.
Just taking into, because there's so much information to cover in League, you know. So yeah, trying to keep track of all the data is actually quite hard, you know. But it will come over time.
I did not hear Wukong say Yone Fogbot.
Yeah.
I should have tracked him even if he didn't say anything, mind you. So it's
I
like
agree.
Double up.
Yeah, I agree completely. It's very reasonable to say that, you know, he didn't call it or you didn't hear it or whatever, but the truth is, like, it's your fault for not seeing them out.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, also, I don't know.
I'm calling that we mega win this, by the way. Is the reason she's posturing, because I have item advantage. If there's no Yone in the equation, this is just...
Yeah, I mean, if you guys play super insane, maybe you can 2v3 them. Maybe, I don't know, probably not.
I'm never thinking about the Yone thing. Unless you're talking about the Nefiri 2v3.
No.
You cannot... No, I'm
Very
never thinking
compy
about
here.
Yone there. I would never play it like that if I thought Yone. So
Yeah, it's fine. It's reasonable. Okay. Let's look at a few more things. Super weird, you know? Like your support is top lane, enemy team's hitting mid turret when they don't have vision on what?
This is just...
Can. Yes, delicious. Nice. Okay, what are we doing now? Ah, syncing our tempo into hitting mid turrets.
What do you mean?
We got the turrets.
What do you mean when you say that sentence? Syncing. Syncing is linking up with someone, but you wanna...
Ah, no. Syncing as in the ship is going to fall down, you know?
Oh, my bad.
Yes. No, but what you say is correct. I think it's okay because you guys end up breaking the turret, right? But...
You would not do this for... if it got to 20%?
So again, so we can go back to the same analysis of okay, should I use my old bot and blow this guy's clans? It's like, what you do is fine because you break the turret, but how does the map look like after?
I mean, I think... well,
do you see how dog shit the map looks after this? Okay, let's go back, right? Let's be super fucking specific. Alistair comes back alive in 5 seconds, okay?
My question was also different, so but we'll talk about that after.
No, you go.
Let's just go. My question was, do you think this is worth if I think I'm only getting it down to 20% HP?
No, it's horrible.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Well, you do know. So you don't know why, but you... give me a sec. We come back to this, okay? Alistair is alive, okay? He's here. Let's start tracking his tempo. Leona's DPSing mid turret. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, plus 8. Alistair has 31 seconds of tempo. 32? 32? 31.
24 plus 8 is...
Yeah, 32. He has 32 seconds of tempo on your support right now, provided this guy doesn't get cancelled.
I think the reason I'm asking is because I don't know how much...
Can you tell me what that means?
It means that we lose all river control for the next, if they played well, the next, until game is over.
32 seconds is river control to you?
In my mind, I feel like it's just river control, which ties into...
I think the enemy support can ward here, here, here. He can pick one mega deep side.
Pick one quadrant and then just fully...
Sure, I mean, maybe not fully control, but he can dump wards and then reset and have a fresh turn. So, what I mean by that is he can have full vision here while having 4 wards in his inventory while still having tempo advantage.
32 seconds is river control.
That's disgusting, by the way. That's disgusting. That is horrific.
Yeah.
Do you see it? So, okay, you guys got some gold off this. Does it change your buy? Not really. So why do we break mid turret? Because mid turret's the most important turret in the game, right? You agree with that?
Yes.
Why is it the most important turret in the game? Tell me.
You can catch mid waves high, which changes
and what does that do?
Means we can be on side lane way faster, means that I can usually catch way easier because we have easier side control, or we have easier deep vision control.
Yes, vision. We get deeper vision, right? You push mid deep, enemy support, enemy AD has to show here. Enemy AD has one option, which is farm, right? During this window. Now, during your window, you can be doing camps, moving. Oh, my handwriting's so bad. 3, recalling. See the difference? So we break mid turret to push mid deep to generate tempo to get deeper vision. Now we broke mid turret to give the enemy support a 32-second tempo advantage. Do you see the problem?
I still think I'm still not sure if it's worth.
It's not worth it.
Because you don't think it's worth?
It's not worth breaking this turret. I'm telling you, it's not.
Okay. You think it's worth in? This is a question, and I should not go through this thought process, but a genuine question.
Yeah.
Do you think it's worth in this level of play?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay.
I think
In
if
my
you play
mind,
good tempo in tier 2, like in LFL 2 or any div 2, even in div 1, if you play good tempo outside of like top LFL teams, top LVP teams, you'll probably just win the game.
Yeah, but will they play good tempo? Because
Yeah, you can win games from this, yeah. Of course.
yeah, but that's what I'm asking. Are the people capable of playing good enough tempo where this mid turret is not worth 32 seconds of tempo on your support?
Of course.
That's my question.
Like I have a higher expectation on your support's Lexic, right? Like Lexus?
Lexus.
Like I expect him to be better than this. So yeah, basically now what we need to figure out is what should we do instead here.
Well, I think we both just recall. I
Yep.
think if playing for if I'm not playing for full kill, I think the chip damage is not worth being on second wave high. Being on next wave high.
Wait,
Or
when you say
high.
trip damage, what does that mean?
Chip damage to me is just getting
Chip. Understand, sorry.
Yeah.
Understand. Yeah. So instead of breaking this, we should recall, and we should drop a lane ward here to see which side of mid that their support moves from if he opens through mid, or which side their AD carry leans to, so we know which side's warded. And then from there, we have pretty much even support tempo with Ali, so both supports are going to hit river at the same time. And now we just go back to a standard map state, okay?
You think this ward is worth in mid when I'm
100% it is, yeah. Also,
in my mind what you just said,
I don't think you are in your quotes first to mid. I think it's quite even, no?
I mean,
You would have 2 seconds of tempo on MF if you base on time, right? So you base right here. You base. You have 2 seconds of tempo on MF, but she has W. So I think you guys are completely even in tempo. So what you're saying is not true. You guys will arrive mid at the same time.
And the value of this ward
Super
you're saying
high.
I think Sup should never really open through mid. He can open through mid and then go like down to.
Sure. I mean, let's say he opens to this side, right? Then he parts back through mid. Where was he in the last 10 seconds? Top side.
Okay. Yeah, I get that, but
There's a lot of
should he
implied
ever
understanding.
Isn't it really rare?
Yeah, but he doesn't think he doesn't even think he's showing mid. Right? Because and then you make the argument, well, he knows it's warded, so he'll sweep it. Okay, well then he's using his sweeper here and not here, or here. Perfect.
I'm not thinking about the sweeper. I'm just thinking about in my mind. He's opening to strong side, then he's placing 3 wards, and he's either staying on map on strong side, or he's cycling wards and recalling in strong side.
No, I don't think those are your. I don't think that has to be the 2 assumptions. He could drop 1 ward on the weak side, come back to mid, wait, play a couple waves, then go into strong side when his jungler's ready. I think it's not that like black and white that he has to come, drop 3 wards and then base, or come, drop 3 wards and then stay. I think that's like very. Just.
So this mid ward usually will, because I've not done it that much.
It's perfect.
It's a lot of value. Okay.
Yeah, it's insane value. It's insane value. You see which side that they lean, you see which side that they ward, you see their intent, you see when they're recalling. Like this ward, like getting a deep ward in mid is extremely overpowered when you can do it.
A lot of my questions is because I've played solo queue a lot, of course, but I've been on. I think I've played 50 scrim games in my life.
Yeah, but like I'm gonna be like super blunt with you right now. If you watched POV VODs from like LCK, LPL, you would see the priority on wards like this, for example. You would see the attention to detail on TP advantage. Things like this, you know? Like, so I agree with you. Yeah, you don't have that much experience. Can use this as an excuse. I'm not sure.
I'm just saying I'm like really clueless for a lot of things.
Yeah, and I think that's your responsibility, not an experience thing. Like, I just want to, and maybe it comes across a bit harsh, but I think the best thing you can do for your development is take accountability for this stuff.
Yeah.
That
for me, a lot
right
of
now you need to learn quicker. That's all.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I don't disagree.
Yeah.
For me, a lot of it is getting introduced to the concepts first of all.
Who's gonna introduce you?
I know, but I watch LCK and
no, but it's a serious question. Who's gonna introduce you?
outside of individual coaching.
It could be me, but what if I'm not a good coach?
I mean, then it would be spotting it. Yeah.
It's
Or,
you
know,
like you have to do it
spot.
yourself, you know. You can't trust
Yeah.
your teammates to do it, like, and maybe they can, you know. You can't trust them. You can't trust your coaching staff. As in, you can, but don't be blind, you know. Like,
Yeah,
and don't just trust what I'm saying too. I like that you're pushing back. I like you're like, hey, maybe it's not a good time in the world, but this is what I was saying. I'm happy with this. I really like it. But the point is, like, I wish when I was a player that I took a bit more accountability too. So maybe I'm projecting a bit more as well. But especially when I was a younger player. How old are you?
I am 19.
Perfect. I think, yeah, your homework for now is to watch a bunch of POV replays and try to practice reverse engineering. So look at the outcome. Was it good? Was it bad? Then look at the process. And then figure out the link between the two. Was the process good and the outcome was just unfortunate? Maybe. Was the outcome good but the process was bad? If you can get this right, you will improve so quick. Because just because the outcome's good doesn't mean the process is good, you know? And just because the outcome's bad doesn't mean the process wasn't good, you know? Usually there's more of a correlation, right? Because like if the outcome's bad, chances are there's something that went wrong in the process. But sometimes as an individual, you can make the perfect decisions and someone else on your team can make a bad decision, or there's RNG or whatever, you know?
It's like a helping tool to try to remain as objective as possible.
Yeah, I mean,
While also picking up more stuff.
it's just easier for you to learn quicker. You're just understanding the logic of the game more deeply, and you can visualize all the situations out well. So I think for now you should focus on this. But yeah, I think we've for sure gone over time.
Yeah, I am.
Got any questions?
Right now my mind is just thinking about everything, and I want to watch it back.
Like, have you found this useful?
Does the Pope jerk off? Yeah, I found it very useful.
Just the poor jerk off. I don't even know what that means, but it was funny. Alright.
It's a yes, of course, when you think about it a bit.
Yeah.
At least
Well,
my
thanks.
dad-
Thanks for the
yeah.
session. I'm just gonna turn off my recording and we can keep chatting.